All right, so today we're going to check out the new text-to-speech model from Google, Gemini 3.0 text-to-speech. I'm going to do this in the Google AI Studio. If you work in conversational AI, this may be something you want to check out. It's been around for quite a while. I actually started on the web app and I moved over to the studio. The studio basically gives you access to all the models. I tend to like to make, multimodal conversational agents, so I like throwing in images and audio and video and all kinds of stuff like that. So what you can do in the studio is you're going to have all your models up top here. You have your Gemini, you have your live speech models, you have imaging, videos, audio, music, everything right here. Today we're going to do audio. So let's go to the Gemini 3.1 Flash, and it's going to take us to this interface here. It gives you a bunch of quick start templates you can check out. There's an everyday assistant, there's an energetic co-host, master storyteller, game show host. That's got to be annoying. We're actually just going to kind of make our own thing. So let's go ahead and start. We're just going to go ahead and put our cursor right there. Click. And that's what it's going to give us. So the new text-to-speech models, it lets you build a scene, lets you do sample context. And we're going to go ahead and write something for the speaker. And I've got some stuff pre-made up. So let's go ahead and check that out.
Okay, before we set up the scene real quick, let's just take a quick look at the docs. I just looked at these docs, I think 3 days ago, and they've already been updated. That kind of happens sometimes in Google when they have new products come out. The documentation gets changed so quickly that I don't even see it. I haven't even seen it until this very moment here. So let's look at it real quick. First of all, it gives you a pretty good array of voice options. You can actually test out all these options in AI Studio. It gives you a little brief clip of each. You can see all the languages it offers here. There's pretty much an endless string of languages. You should be covered there. It gives a pretty good quick prompting guide. So the thing about the newest TTS that's going to be very obvious is they offer so many different tags and so many different ways you can change your voice. Whispers, laughs, you can add sighs, coughs, gasps. You can have it talk excitedly, reluctantly. You can change the speed of the speech. And it's funny, when I first came on here, I was like, well, there's got to be a master list of descriptions of tags. There isn't. Google's actually kind of recommended you just experiment, get creative. Like you can do stuff like a cartoon dog. The options are almost endless. I didn't choose many very complex instructions, but I couldn't really find anything that it couldn't tackle pretty efficiently. And real quick, there's some advanced prompting recommendations here. You can set the scene. It does mention that director's notes are very important, so I think you want to, really put some of your most important characteristics in a director's notes. There's nowhere to put this in the Google AI Studio example we're going to use. I think that's more for when you're actually building an agent. All right, so I set up a little scene here. Let's see how Gemini 3.1 Flash TTS performs. If you don't know me, I'm one of those morons that goes out and chases tornadoes in the spring. I'm one of those people that runs around in the trucks like the movie Twister. So I thought I would put together a little kind of a scenario. Sometimes when we're out there, you'll find someone who gets a little too close to a tornado or gets their vehicle smashed up by hail, and they're all really stressed out. So I kind of just put a little scenario where sometimes you'll kind of drive up on people like that who are got their adrenaline a little high and set the scene for that. So I got a scene set up. I got some sample context set up here. I'm not going to read it out for you. If you want to read it, you can go ahead and stop your screen. I had Claude Sonnet help me finish these out. And I got a speaker down here at the bottom. Let's give it a shot, see what it does.
Thanks for stopping. I don't even know what happened. They aren't supposed to move like that. It came due south on me. Did you see it almost hit me? I mean, 1 second, the mess was a mile out, and the next, the wall cloud was right on top of me. I couldn't get the gear in reverse fast enough. Windows they just imploded. I hit the gas pedal to the floor. I saw someone's front door fly right over my roof. thought it was gone. I really thought that was it. My hands won't stop shaking. Can you hear that? It's so quiet now. It's too quiet. Unbelievable.
Okay, let's do one more scene. Let's do a two-person scene. We just kind of did. I did like a dating scene, like two people meet on an app. The guy is just a smarmy ass, and the woman is completely not interested. So we're gonna have two speakers. Let's see how these two interact.
There she is! Okay. Yeah, you look okay. I can probably work with this. Please don't get up. Oh, don't worry, I won't. So listen, full transparency, I almost canceled. Had an ex-girlfriend trying to get me into a rooftop thing tonight, but I told her, hey, look, I made a commitment to a new chick. That's just who I am.
I agree with you. You are very transparent.
So I don't usually do these apps. My sister made me sign up. Said I was too intimidating to most women on there. Well, yeah, probably. That's what happens when you belong to every exclusive gym in the city. You should think about coming to watch me work out sometime. I can get you a $5 day pass on Tuesday.
Oh, darn. I don't get paid until Wednesday.
But seriously, was the fish photo in my profile the deal breaker for you? That was a 10-pound largemouth bass. Lake Erie. You know, you can tell a lot about a man by how he holds a fish. But you look like you wouldn't know about that. So look, you know what? I'll tell you what. If you play your cards right, later on I'll introduce you to Gerald, my ferret. He's very selective.
He's not that selective.
This is going great. So, who's your favorite NASCAR driver?
So there you go. Those are painfully slow to me. I even had them written in fast pace, and they just seem to take forever. Maybe because I've run through these 100 times, but it kind of gives you a good example of how the new TTS model works. One of the things I noticed is I think a lot of the instructions are really kind of fighting with the context that Flash is also taking into the conversation. So I think your instructions are fighting with the context of the situation. I kind of feel like even if I didn't have some of these instructions here, that the conversation would have probably gone pretty well anyway. And I feel like my instructions were kind of fighting with the context of the conversation. So besides that, it's just a lot of the, the readings are really dramatic. It probably has to do a lot with the fact that I'm using a lot of instructions inside my conversations. You probably wouldn't need this many instructions in most use cases. I used a lot, which is probably making it sound more drama filled. If you came from LinkedIn, I wrote a whole thing about drama in text to speech models, and this is exactly what I was talking about. So anyway, there you go. Hope you enjoyed Gemini 3.1 Flash text to speech. I'll see you next time.